Wait, do you guys see the candles? I light up some candles, but you can't see it. We might as well get rolling. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer. This is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. So excited for you guys to be coming back, and thank you for joining me if you are new here. I just want to say, thank you. I just want to shout out to all my new subscribers. I know in the last video I shared about the vlog of where I went to the Democratic rally for Abigail Spanberger. Newsflash, she won. And I've been slowly reaping over the coals these last couple of days. But it's no shocker that she won. Obviously, Virginia is still a very much a blue state, and it would have just been so awesome to have Winsome as governor. But oh well. So I want to talk about my experience of what it was like going to not I always share my experience going to the Democratic rally, but I also on election day last week I also went out to a poll in on election day. I voted early, so I didn't go in the vote, but I had a poster. And I'm gonna share the picture right here that I shared on my Instagram, and the poster stated former foster kid for Sears. And in case you don't know, and if you guys haven't been here watching my videos or been here that long, I share stories or my experiences when I was a child in the foster care system. And in the foster care system, you get bombarded with a lot of progressive ideology, and especially as you like age out of the system and become your own adult. And it's just evident that the system works heavily to push leftist ideology onto impressionable young adults. And so I just wanted to show that I stand out. I also wanted to see if I can start a conversation or have conversations with people. And the on my Instagram, I shared how change starts with you. And if you're somebody that wants change in your community or want to see something differently, you got to be willing to take the time to invest in your community. You cannot wait for elected officials to start passing policy and making plans to want to make change in your community. You got to be able to personally yourself invest in your community. Okay, so now that that is done and over, I'm going to be sharing a scripture that I found in Matthew 11. And it says here in verse 28, it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." 29, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke, 30, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." I have been spending so much time praying and writing and just trying to get my relationship to God to be much closer. There's so many things right now that I'm wrestling with, and I'm not going to get into all of that, but I'm just at awe at so much what God has been able to do for me and what He has been able to accomplish and what He has allowed me to do. And everywhere I go, I try to find ways where I could just bring glory to God. And one of the ways I try to do that is here. I share scriptures, I share my faith, because I want people to see not just the, I don't want people to just come here and to see conservative politics. I want people to come here and see, like, wow, Chaida is definitely a fearless woman of God. Like, look how much God has knowledge and wisdom God has bestowed on her. And I just and maybe I haven't done the best job at it from time to time, but I don't want people to come here and see like divisiveness. I want people to come here and feel like they can be seen, that everybody here is welcome to my table. And even though you and I may not agree politically or ideologically, that doesn't mean that I don't want you to succeed in life. So with that being said, the holidays are coming near. Make sure you're checking on your people, folks. Make sure you're checking on the people that you know that could be struggling, because even though it's supposed to be the greatest time of the year, for a lot of people, it brings its most burdens. And so just putting my little advice out there. If you haven't already, reach out to one person that you think may be riding solo this holiday and just tell them, hey, I'm thinking about you. And I think that will make all the difference. So it is election day, and I go out and with my poster, and I'm standing outside. It's not too cold, it's not too windy, and I noticed that there are people out there who are handing out slips. The paper slips that they were giving out had the list of only Democratic candidates on the ballot. No Republicans, just only Democratic candidates. And they will hand them out to at least everyone who was coming in to vote on election day. And they would hand these out. I, on the other hand, was not a part of this group. I was not affiliated with them, but I was out there with my poster, and I was basically just chanting like, a vote for change, a vote for Sears is a vote for Sears, and things like that. I was trying to encourage people to I guess trying to stoke up a conversation. I had a really lovely conversation with a guy named Daniel. He came up to me because he noticed my poster, and he saw that I told him that I was a foster care kid in the state of Maryland, and he began to tell me that he has done work in the foster care community, that even though he informed me that he and I are not on the same side politically, he is really encouraged that I came out and got involved. There were also a few people who gave me a nod, like, yes, good job. Like, give me the wink and the nod, yes. And then there was a sweet moment with this lady who I came up to. I was like, "Are you voting today?" And she was like, and she almost broke down in tears, guys. She was like, she saw my poster and she read it and she said, "I'm so proud of you." And I was like, thank you. And it just really warmed my heart. Anyways, there were also a lot of people who were kind of displeased and just not really encouraged by my message and what I did. One of the people that were out there giving out Democratic slips, one of the lady gave me a really hard time being there. She was so snarky. She was making snarky comments, which I tend to just like let those like rub off of me, because they don't mean anything to me. I know why I'm here, and I know that she would not be saying those things if she just knew innately like why I believe the things that I believe. But she sees my post and she's like, she's like, nobody educated would walk around with a sign like that. Like, she's obviously like not educated. And not only that, she took a few pictures of me. I don't know what she's gonna do with those pictures, but I'm not here to like bother her or anything like that. I'm just here to just present myself. Anyways, There was a woman who was stepping out the car with her kids. There was another incident. A woman stepping outside a car with her kids, and I basically asked, "Hey, are you going to vote today?" And she was like, "Yeah, I am." And then she looked at my poster, and she kind of turned away. And the other lady who was giving me a hard time, who was passing out the slips, she came up to her and she said, "Here are some Democratic candidates." And basically encourage her to vote for only Democrats. And the lady, her and the mom were obviously like in like they were obviously cohesive about how they were going to about their politics. And the lady turned to me and was like, "I'm sorry, I'm not voting for her." She saw that my poster said former foster kid for Sears, and she said, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to vote for her. I am a Democratic. I'm going to always be a Democrat, and I am going to raise my kids and teach them to only vote for Democrats." She was a Black woman, and honestly saying that she strong-heartedly believes that voting Democrat is her ticket way out. It's her ticket for freedom. It's her ticket to keep her rights. It's her ticket to live a fruitful life. She wasn't really much in that conversation for chit chat, but I would have encouraged her is like, are you happy with the way that things are in your community? Are you happy with your living situation? Are you happy knowing that the Democrats spent election after election trying to getting your vote, and then doing absolutely nothing for your community? Are you happy with how things are going? These people believe that Trump is a problem, that Trump is a racist. They believe that anybody associated with Trump who or is a Republican is problematic, and they do not belong in our communities. Even though, and I'm where I at in Norfolk, you there is no Republican that holds office in Norfolk that represents Norfolk or represents the region that I'm in. So it's just like Republicans are so bad, but yet they don't have any influence in your communities. It's only Democrats. And they believe that if they voted for Abigail Spanberger, then that means she's going to go against Trump. And I feel like that mentality is so skewed, because there were a lot of people who came out to vote for Abigail Spanberger because they believe that Trump is a big threat. Even if whoever was going to be the next governor, they couldn't just not go after Trump. Like Abigail Spanberger is not going to do much about the Trump's presidency, considering that she's a governor. Yes, will she have to like work within administration? Will she have to do things? Will she be asking the federal government for some funding, or work accordingly with the Trump administration on some things? Sure, but there's not a lot she can do when it comes to Trump's presidency, because he's the president of the United States and she's the governor of the Commonwealth, and she's just going to have to. I don't know what mentality that they have with that, but yeah, they believe they were voting against Trump. And it's like, Trump is not going to be on the ballot, so why does it matter if you vote for Abigail or you vote for Winsome Earle? But it's very interesting on that note. And obviously, one of my takeaways is there are people who are heavily invested. For a person like me, as a young Black woman, to stay on the plantation, they don't want to see anyone think differently or vote differently or just have different ideas, because they need to, because the Democrat Party has taken years, have spent decades emotionally invested in the Black community, and there's so much charge there that like everyday Black Americans, like the woman who was snapping photos of me and saying snarky comments, and then the mom saying like, "I'm only Democrat, I'm only going to vote for Democrats, like nothing else." It's just like really like eye-opens to me, and like how emotionally invested they are in the Democratic Party, that they don't want to be exposed to different ideas or different way of thinking. And so, one of the things that I have to say to anybody who is a Black American and is strongly a Democrat is, are you happy with the way that your community is today? Are you happy with the conditions that you are living with? Are you happy with the prices of groceries, the prices of gas, the cost of living, the job market? Are you happy the way that Democrats have run your neighborhoods, run your communities, run your cities, run your states? And if not, and why are you so against the idea of a Republican taking charge? Now, listen, I'm not saying that in order to make change in your community, you in places that are very blue, that you have to vote Republican to see a change, but vote Republican only. But Republican only because like there are like some Republicans, a lot of Republicans who are just like Democrats. They are bought by the establishment, and they too are working in cohorts with the Democrats to bleed Americans dry and things like that. But there are some really good Republican candidates that were on the ballot, that should have been given a chance, like Winsome Sears. And I think it I think that voting as for someone different, as someone with a different letter next to their name, is really gonna make all the difference. This is why Trump came back in office, and this is primarily why Trump won in 2016, and then he lost in 2020, but then he came back stronger in 2024 because a lot of people were beginning to wake up, because a lot of people were seeing how much damage the Democrats were doing, not just on just nation on a national scale. The Biden administration did so much damage to America during the 4 years that they were office, that America just like woke up and said, you know what, we're gonna vote for Trump. We're gonna vote for the the Cheeto, the orange man, whatever you want to call him. We're gonna vote for him. We're gonna put him in office. And so I think like knowing that we went from Trump to a Democratic Party to now back to Trump really shows us like, okay, so why did people give Trump a second chance after 4 years of a Democratic administration? You got to ask yourself that. Like, why? And if you're somebody that is a Black American and you only want to vote Democrat, what do you got to lose by voting Republican even once? Like, what you got to lose? That is what Trump said during his campaigning the first time when he ran for office. When he was speaking to the Black community, he said, what do you got to lose? What you got to lose? Vote differently. So what I really want to encourage is stay away from the noise, because there are a lot of people trying to throw noise at you, like they're trying to charge at you with so many distasteful and very vulgar things about Trump administration, about Republicans in general, and that Democrats are the only people in the world that only care about everyday Americans, and that they only care about Black Americans. Is if you just tune out the noise just a little bit and see that why there's so many people out here trying to get your attention, or trying to pull you onto their side, and just think to yourself like, what is going on, and what can I do to be sure that I'm making the right decisions, not for my life and for the community, if I care so much about the community around me. So yeah, tune out the noise and think for yourself. Don't be afraid to do research. Don't be afraid to have dialogue, to have conversations with people who think differently than you. Some of the best things that happen for society, that's happened for America, is because people with different ideas who come together and want to bring good change for everyone. So that's my tidbit today. I hope that I didn't bore you. But if you made it here this far, I'm so happy. And if you subscribe, you get to see more content like this. So, with that being said, thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Back again. Wow, you're amazing. Please be sure to give today's episode a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you are new here, subscribe so you can stay in tune for more episodes. Want to get to know me a little bit more? You should follow me on social media. I provide the links to all my social media platforms in the description of each podcast episode. Did today really resonated with you? Then you'll even love my deeper dives on my Substack. So please be sure to check it out when you can. Always remember, stay rooted in truth, stand firm in grace. And always remember, this is her time